40. How many points did they score? They get to 50?
They got to 50.
They got to 50 points. They have held the opposition to 61 points over the last 5 games, Steve.
Man, that's exciting. As we see Eddie Gill, and he'll be the target of the Gold Coast Blaze defense because he's the primary ball handler for Townsville. There's the pressure here early. Schencher. Be interesting to see how they defend that as well. Peter Crawford at the three-point line. Schencher gets a piece of it, but it goes to Dries De Leon.
Great closeout from Anthony Petrie, too. See, going back to Petrie's closeout, it was just a good effort to make sure that Crawford wasn't able to take that open three-point shot. That's what he does. And he just put that element of doubt in his mind. He had to fake, use his steps, and then get back and take it under a bit more pressure.
Worthington gets the baseline out of bounds. He's off balance and he travels.
Again, the Townsville Crocs wanting to go inside the big Luke Schencher early. He had great success from being able to get that done. Schencher's looking more and more confident with every game that he's come back from injury.
Jacob Holmes gives it back to Peter Crawford. He telegraphs that pass. Blaze get a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. Blaze with 2 turnovers to start the game.
Well, 2 good defensive plays from the Blaze, but then 2 bad offensive looks where, that's where they've been better over the last month as well, of looking after the ball, getting it through hands.
Jacob Holmes, after he feeds it into Luke Schencher, caught it in rhythm and drilled it. And his three-pointer puts Townsville on top. Worthington. That stays with the Gold Coast Blaze, very close to being another turnover.
And this start for the Gold Coast Blaze reminds me of the game they played in this venue against the Cairns Taipans, where they continually just tried to pound it inside and they didn't move the ball. Sometimes you can tell from the Blaze early about how they're going to go, and they certainly haven't come out with the same sort of intensity they have in the other games we've covered over the last month.
They get the inbounds to Petrie. He loses the handle, and here comes another turnover. Get it to Blanchfield. He goes at Worthington and just runs him over. You got to know what you're capable of. Worthington's very good at sliding his feet and getting the charge.
He's extremely quick for somebody his size of being able to pick where you're going to go. Gets there, just one good step, and he's good at being able to take that contact and then actually emphasize it a whole lot more. But again, 3 turnovers already for the Gold Coast Blaze, and every turnover has come from really forcing the issue either one-on-one or trying to throw it into the post into something that's not there.
Well, they're getting it done on the defensive end. The one shot by Jacob Holmes. Gibson to Petrie, and he's fouled.
Again, a much better set, sorry to jump in, a much better set because they moved the ball and then got a pick and roll at the end of it, and they looked good. They had great spacing. You see Gibbo really taking his game to another level, being able to split the trap and be able to find the right man at the right time.
Ball movement. Anytime you can split the defense on the high ball screen, that's always trouble for the defense. Petrie puts the Blaze on the board.
Great running early, boys.
He gets them both in. And here comes the Blaze, extended pressure again. Mark Worthington up on the top of that. That time it was just token. But Townsville don't get into their offense till 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Holmes with a good fake. Comes up short on the bank shot. Schencher on the offensive glass. It squirts to Gibson. Worthington at the top of the key is short. Petrie with the offensive rebound. Slips it to De Leon. De Leon with a lot of space in the pull-up. Townsville bring it up. Jacob Holmes once again.
That's a different mentality from Jacob Holmes than what we saw with the Adelaide 36ers last year. Really not looking to score. As soon as he gets his feet set now, he's letting it rip. And so he should.
Worthington slips on a wet spot. And turn it over again. Jacob Holmes wide open. He misses his three-point attempt. Hudson with the board to Gibson. Gibson pulls up. That rims out. Mims with the rebound. Gill avoids the contact. Nice pass by Jacob Holmes to Luke Schencher. Bullet.
I thought Jacob was going to let that rip again. He's taken 4 shots in the first 3 minutes and 18 seconds, but he ended up just holding off, and what a pass right behind the head of the big fella inside Hudson to be able to find Schencher.
Just lost vision of the ball for a split second. Yeah, that reminds me of when he used to try and guard Andrew Gaze. Anytime he lost vision of the ball, you just knew he was preparing to catch it somehow.
And really, Hudson was just out of position. He needed to drop back a little bit because it was impossible with the angle he had to be able to see both the ball and also Schencher. I like the way Townsville are playing, though. They're picking and choosing when to run. They're not spraying it up. They're not getting pushed into a game that they don't want to play. They've executed extremely well so far.
Petrie with the drive, can't get the finish. Offensive rebound is pulled down, but it's knocked away. Sticks with the Gold Coast.
It's an area I'm surprised that more teams haven't taken advantage of against Schencher. Like, normally you want to be able to use the mobility of someone like Petrie to be able to isolate him on the elbow and let him use his pull-through and his quickness, or to be able to make Schencher defend the on-ball screen, make him come out high because he doesn't have the quickness to be able to defend that, as we see Gibbo going to the post.
Good to see him do that. He's such a big, strong guard. Pick up some points that way as well. Multi-dimensional with his weapons. Jacob Holmes backs down the smaller Gibbo on the other end. Jacob Holmes with all that confidence. Good no call. Petrie. Extra pass to Worthington. He puts it on the floor. That'll stay here.
And that's where Wortho just needs to be able to pull up and have that in-between game. Like up fake, 1 or 2 dribbles to the edge of the paint, and then just a little banker rather than having to barge his way through all of the time.
That little 8-footer off the glass. It's an easy shot to make.
Especially for him, because he's got so much touch anyway and ability to be able to score. Just really needs to be able to add that to his game to go to the next level.
Jacob Holmes again. Off the glass, he's short. Schencher can't hang on to it in traffic. He had all kind of blaze around him, nipping at him. De Leon gets into the paint. Gibson short at the three-point line. Crawford gets it to Gill. He's got numbers. Holmes with the left-hand finish. Jacob Holmes.
Oh my. I don't know what his career high is, but he's got 9 points already. And he's going to the free throw line here. As we see Eddie Gill with a little party trick. Jacob Holmes showing his extreme athleticism and hang time.
And I wouldn't tell.
That's sarcastic.
That would.
And I'm allowed to do that because I reckon I was on the same par ability of being able to have hang time.
Yeah, you got to do your showtime in a hurry when your air time is that limited. Jacob Holmes gets himself to double figures. But that pass, it took a while to get there, so by the time Jacob Holmes got it, he was already in his steps to score.
Well, he's got 10 of the 12 points for the Crocs so far.
Timeout on the floor. Just under 5 minutes left here in the first. It's 12-4, Townsville.
Things to do before summer ends. Go to the beach. Go for a surf. Build a sand. I have no idea what that is. Go to Hungry Jack's. Play cricket. Watch cricket. Listen to cricket. Take your dog to the park. Go to an outdoor concert. Go to Hungry Jack's. Climb a tree. All in love. Ride a horse to Hungry Jack's. Come into Hungry Jack's for a summer value meal and get a Whopper Junior, small fries and small frozen Coke for just $3.95. Available all day, every day. Hungry Jack's makes it better.
Play defense, run your lanes. If you got somebody in trans, if you got somebody else's man, yell. Somebody else get yours. I ain't got nothing to draw. Play some fucking defense. Go.
Shane?
Well, I'm glad we only got half of that timeout. We got the calm part. Joey Wright really challenging his troops about taking some pride defensively. He spoke to them also about getting out of their stance, but they're not playing with the same intensity that they have over the last month on the defensive end.
No, they have not. And if you're going to draw comparisons to the great team that Joey Wright had when he was here at Brisbane and the way they played defense, they had a whole 5 guys that came off the bench with the same intensity, if not more.
Yeah, they also had a whole lot of talent, maybe the most talent in the history of this game offensively.
Yeah, 1 to 10.
1 to 10. They had 10 guys that at any stage could drop 20.
Extra pass goes to Eddie Gill. Wide open look at the three-point line. Long. Jason Kadig. Out to Stephen Hoare. Hands it over to Dries De Leon. Back to Stephen Hoare. Just inside the three-point line. Peter Crawford pulls down the board. Ahead to Schencher for the jam. That's how you do it, Big Luke. Throw it down with 2 hands.
And again, the defensive transition from the Blaze. You can't let a 7-footer beat you in transition and get an open dunk.
Kadig, another quick shot by the Blaze. Schencher wrestles it away from De Leon. Townsville's got all the answers. Gill shoots it up there with his left hand. That should count. Eddie Gill with the dribble penetration. This is the dunk by Luke Schencher. And that's the lack of transition from the Blaze. Same play.
Yeah, I just don't understand how that happened.
No. On Eddie Gill's finish, remember we were talking about, I can't remember whether we were talking about it on Friday night or on Saturday night, about a scorer's mentality. How some guys wouldn't have shot that. You know, because that was, you know, it was kind of 50-50 whether that was going to count or not.
Yeah. I like the way Townsville share the ball. We spoke about it on Friday night. They've got a willingness to be able to make the extra pass, bring everybody into the game. And they've done a great job so far of being able to pick and choose in their transition.
To Garland. Good move as he faked the pass to Jason Kadig. Joey's furious.
Joey's searching for players that are going to come on and give him the defense that he's after.
Eddie Gill's got Mark Worthington. Worthington can pick up a guard and defend from the perimeter. Jacob Holmes puts it on the floor, pops it back to where he came from to Eddie Gill. Just as the shot clock expires, Townsville putting on a basketball clinic.
Great veteran play from Jacob Holmes, pulling through to the middle, drawing the help, and then seeing Eddie Gill get to the right space in the corner, be able to knock down the trifecta.
Gibson's off the mark with his jumper. Worthington gets the putback, but can't get the finish. Goes to the line for a deuce.
No assist for the Gold Coast Blaze. And the Townsville Crocs are on 6 already. So they've got no assists and 5 turnovers, the Blaze, and to me that indicates the style of offense they're playing at the moment, because everything's off a dribble, and Joey Wright said it at the timeout. Everybody's playing for themselves right now offensively and not really looking to be able to create for somebody else.
Jacob Holmes pulls in that miss. 20-6. A couple missed free throws from Mark Worthington. So it's all coming apart. Hill just taking his time. Cedar. Oh my. A long bomb outside the three-point line for Michael Cedar, and we're not in Townsville.
That's a great start for him, because as we know, he doesn't traditionally shoot the ball as well on the road. I didn't know whether that was an air ball or it went straight through. I know I'm getting old, but that net was caught. I couldn't quite tell.
De Leon just jumps in the air, has nowhere to go. Holmes gets it to Gill, skips it to Cedar. Cedar gets it back to Gill. Wide open three is short. Gets it back. Extra pass to Jacob Holmes, who's been hot. Mims with the tip. Doesn't go. Jason Kadee turns on the Jets, gets it to Mark Worthington, and he's fouled at the three-point line.
That's a bad foul from Jacob Holmes. I mean, you know, everything's going their way. There's no need to contest that shot as hard as he did. He just needed to close down short, carry a hand, and if they make that in transition, then you give that up. Mark Worthington missing his last two free throws, so he will need to battle through this on this first shot.
Okay, we've got 3 shots, guys. 3.
Yeah, good free throw shooter. Oh, a veteran like Mark Worthington. Even if he misses 2, he won't make that carry over into his next ones. Well, when you're having those free throw demons, yeah, that bleeds into your next shot. Knocks down all 3. And that's important when your team only has 6. Good catch by Ben Allen. Terrible shot. 7 assists to none, as Shane Hill mentioned. Golding outside the three-point line. Yes.
Well, that's the spark that Joey Wright put Chris Golding into the lineup for.
Took him a while to find somebody, but eventually it's Golding. In the open court, Jacob Holmes has it go off his foot. That ball bounced there forever. I don't think anyone saw it. There were 10 people out on the court, and I think only 2 people actually saw the ball bouncing in the open court for anybody to get.
That's a 24.
I like the fact that Townsville is still putting this pressure up the court. Not just to get the steals, but again, just to put an element of doubt in their mind at the moment. They've got 7 turnovers, as we said before, 6 turnovers. They've now got 1 assist. And good to see the Crocs trying to take that momentum with them at the end of this first quarter. You're never going to just get a game from the Gold Coast players unless you go and take it. They're never just going to hand it to you. And I think Townsville are playing the style of game where they're going after this team to be able to snatch this win.
De Leon brings it up. 35 to go until the end of the first. Gibson up the De Leon shot clock to 5. Create some space. Somebody's got to get it up. Golding from the corner. That rims out. Mims with the board.
Good extra pass from Gibbo, and a perfect opportunity for Chris Golding. Naked in the corner.
Yeah, that was the time to run off a few in a row. Chris Cedar. Extra pass to Mims. Jacob Holmes is in the corner. And that'll be it after 1 quarter.